Hey everyone, welcome back. Have you noticed there's been some new blush sticks on the market? Today we're going to take a look at the Charlotte Tilbury blush sticks. I'm going to compare them to the Dior ones. I also have one from Haus Labs. I also have a very old but new to me bronzer that we have to talk about, and some lip products that I'm going to throw in there. So I'm going to go through all the blushes. Don't worry, we're going to talk all details there, but I do want to mention I am wearing the Laneige lip products. They're two new scents or flavors or whatever you want to call them. There's the matcha bubble tea and there's the taro bubble tea. And then I also have the lip masks because these are limited edition. I am a huge tea drinker and I love the scent of tea. In fact, we're going to talk about that in the perfume that I talk about at the end of this video. And so I love anything tea related. And so these are limited edition. I like the Laneige lip products very much. I especially like the lip masks. I wear them at night. And frankly, there was 2 left in my Sephora, and my Sephora is not like super, busy, super crazy. So the fact that there was only 2 left, I was just like, shoot. So I bought them. I wasn't even supposed to be in a Sephora. It's a long story. Anyway, so if you're interested in those, I would definitely pick them up if you're like tea people, if you like that kind of scent. They're great. They smell like bubble teas. They're fantastic. I don't know how limited they are. Like, I don't know if they'll be available for the sale. I would doubt it, but who knows. Charlotte Tilbury. These are the Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Sticks. They're $42. Rich. They are very, very creamy. They have a dewy, soft focus glow. They include a light mapping mesh technology and a collagen boosting ingredients for 24-hour hydration, or at least supposedly 24 hours. Then we've got 6 shades: pretty, peachy, berry, pinky, cherry, and rosy. They are highly pigmented, they're buildable, they blend easily with your fingers, or you can use brushes, and they do seem to last a very long time. They have a 12-month shelf life. They're 31 ounces. The Dior, in comparison, and I did entire videos on this, and I did a comparison with these and the Chanel's and the Westmans. They're $44. They are light reflecting. They have a pH activated glow, supposedly 12-hour hydration, 7 adaptive tones: pink, berry, rosewood, cherry, pink, lilac, candy, and toffee. They are very creamy. They're easy to use, easy to swipe. They blend well. Here's the downside of the Dior's, if I were to give one off the top. They are very emollient, and in heat, they can be a little sticky. I noticed it the other day in the humidity that we're having here in New England. So in fact, I might have fewer videos for a couple of days because it's going to be like past 100 here. And that is very unusual for New England, and I don't do well in heat. So up here in the studio, it's the 4th level of the house. We'll see how well it goes. But anyway, so it feels sticky, and it has, it doesn't really dry down. So, somebody who has dry skin like me, it's probably fine. But for somebody who has oilier skin, you might be a little iffy there. And then there's definitely a noticeable scent for the Dior's. I like the scent, but 0.20 ounces. Okay, all good stuff. Haus Labs. There were Haus Lab blushes before. They say these are new, so I'm guessing it's a new formula. Maybe just new shades, but I'm thinking new formula. $34. It's glass skin hydration. It has 70% skincare ingredients. It includes goju berry and arnica. It's balm-like. It's not sticky. It has 12 shades, a lot of shades for the Haus Labs, and it's suitable for lips, cheeks, and eyes. It is highly pigmented. It blends very smoothly. It's long wearing, even in heat, and it has no fragrance. So we're going to get into the details about like what the differences are and what you want to buy, but I think everyone wants to talk about the Charlotte Tilbury's first. Now, there are 6 shades, and I will put up the pictures of the swatches on my hand when I went into the store. I was actually surprised at how much I liked all the shades. The shades are actually very nice. And, I think that Charlotte Tilbury did a good job with the choices. I also love the fact that the shade is on the stick, which is something that Dior did as well in a different way. They did it with the case, in a translucent way, because you can see the case on the outside. And these are just, the case, but we're still brilliant because then you can look at it and be like, ah, yes, that is what I am putting on. Excellent. So this is Rosy, and Rosy was the one that I went in thinking, yeah, that's the one I'm going to buy. Like, I was pretty sure. But then I ended up getting a shade that I'm very surprised that I bought. This is Peachy, and this is the shade that I was surprised that I bought. You did ask me to buy it when I asked you guys what color, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. And this is Cherry. As you can see, they are very pigmented and they are very emollient. But they do smooth out in a way that is not sticky. And I want to mention that because in comparison, the Dior's are, I don't want to say that they're sticky because they're not sticky on me, but they are very emollient. And I feel like if you're somebody who has oilier skin or you're somebody who lives in a very humid climate, I think, and I'm going to make this really easy for you guys, I think you're going to pick the Charlotte Tilburys over the Dior's because the Dior's do have this kind of tacky texture more so than the Charlotte Tilburys. It's not drastic, but again, my skin is very dry. So, you know, I think the Charlotte Tilburys actually dry down better than the Dior's do. Neither one is shimmery, neither one has gloss in it, neither one has glitter particles. They both have a very similar look, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if you could tell the difference. Like, I don't know looking at these if you could go, oh yeah, that's the Dior, oh yeah, that's the Charlotte Tilbury. They're very, very similar. And the price point is similar. Now, the Dior have this pH technology, which is supposed to be that, you know, it's gonna adapt to your skin. I can't tell you, I haven't really seen them on other people, so I can't tell you whether or not they really look that different on other folks compared with the Charlotte Tilbury, which do not have that technology. But I will say this, they don't look that different on me. The Charlotte Tilburys are vegan, cruelty-free, hydrating, as we've talked about. They have hyaluronic acid in them. They are very hydrating. There is no doubt about that. Supposedly it has collagenere, which visually firms and smooths. And it has this light mapping mesh technology. Pearlescent pigments diffuse light for a dream sheen, luminous finish. It does look luminous. There's no doubt there. You can look at the two. These are the Dior's. These are the Charlotte Tilburys. I don't know what to tell you, like in regards to if one finish is drastically different. I don't see a drastic difference. I see that the ones that I have from Dior are actually more pearlescent. But again, I have one with the pearlescent finish. And then the ones from Charlotte Tilbury are more luminous. I actually think the Dior ones have more of that pearly look. And then the Charlotte Tilbury ones have more of a glow. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the Cherry. The Cherry is the deepest, and I am just gonna use like one dot. Because what I wanna do is I wanna show you with just my fingers what this looks like on the skin. So if you're interested in the Cherry, but you're light like me, you know, light fair, you'll be fine with the Cherry. In fact, Cherry, looking at the swatches on my hand that I filmed in store, was actually like one of my favorite shades. I loved the way it looked because it's this very natural blush on me, like, because this is the kind of color I kind of go in the winter, especially, like you get that cold girl look. This red is perfect for that. And you can see how easily that blended in. There's no pearlescence to it. Dior actually has, because it has that pearlescent finish, it actually has more of that pearlescent look. The Charlotte Tilbury does not. It's actually more luminous than the Dior. So that's the Cherry. Now I'm gonna take the Rosy and I'm gonna put it right here. And yes, I will have on more blush than I generally use, but that's the purpose of today. So you can see the Rosy has well, it's rosy. It's a rosy finish, but again, it's not too deep for me, and these blend out beautifully. You can also make these quite a bit more pigmented and build them up really easily. There's no doubt there. and the peach. And the thing about the peach that I really like about the peach, it's got a really nice warmth to it without it being harsh. Because a lot of times when you do peach, it can be like orange. This is not. This is a lovely, and I'm gonna kind of like make my nose look like a little burnt. It's like a lovely, warm, corally peach. It's really nice. And I'll put a little, like, almost as a contour here so you can see it better. And of course you can see them best on the back of my hand. But I am very impressed with this formula and I really like it. And I have to say, between this and the Dior's, I actually like this formula better. Now that could be because I picked the pearlescent ones in the Dior, and the pearlescent finish, although actually quite beautiful, does accentuate texture a little more than the Charlotte Tilbury does. The Charlotte Tilbury also is very smooth and it dries down in a way that the Dior's on me take longer. I don't know, again, if people out there who have very oily skin will like the Dior's as much. Also, the Dior's have a scent. I really like the scent. It's like peppermint, but not everybody wants a perfume in their product. I also love the fact that you can do this. I don't know why, but it just, I feel like I like the length of it. So I like the packaging. I think the packaging is cooler for the Dior. I like it more. But if I had to pick out of the two products, I think I'd pick the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I actually really like them. And I'm surprised at how much I like the cherry color. Like the cherry color is a great shade. It's really good. And I didn't think I was gonna like it because it's deep. I mean, it's a deep shade. But you know, when you blend it out, it's quite beautiful. It's a really nice shade. It's a really good red, but it's not. It has a way of looking more like a deep pink when it gets blended in. You can make it look more red on your skin, but again, each the rosy and the red, actually love all of them. Now, the pretty, which is lilac, the lilac and the pinky actually to me looked similar. I thought they were similar shades. The lilac was a little bit more lilac-y. Pretty, I'm sorry, we're calling it pretty. It's not lilac. But if I had to choose between those two, I'd go with the pinky, to be honest, and not the lilac. The lilac or pretty is just a little too purple for me. And then the berry is really nice, actually, too. But again, I have so many blushes now that I'm just like, you know, yeah. I don't need any more. I don't need any more blush sticks. However, I did pick up the House Lab one because I did want to mention it because it was sitting there and I was like, all right, well, we have to try it, right? So again, this is $34. And the thing about the House Labs is that this is a smaller one. It can be used on lips, eyes, and cheeks. The others you could as well, but they're not really marketed that way. I think the winner for the color, I think it's pretty clear that this is the winner for options. There are there's a lot more shades. And a lot of the shades have like a beige color or peach color or brownish color, which a lot of us do like in a blush, or if you want to use it on your eyes or on your lips. So I do love that. And it does seem to last a really long time. It is really easy to put on. It glides on just like the rest of these. And it does have something called fermented arnica. If you're not familiar with that, that actually reduces redness. So for someone like me, you know, that's a product that I love. So here is, I got ginger. And if you look, it's got a very similar finish to the rest of them. You know, it's not that different. Gotta say, I mean, they all kind of look a little bit alike, and it does blend in really well. It feels stickier when you first put it on than the other products, but it quickly, when you rub it in, it quickly sort of dies down. It has fermented shiunku, which promotes collagen synthesis and antioxidant protection, and then the gojo berry that I mentioned, which boosts radiance and makes skin look plumper. So I like the finish of it. I think it looks really nice. I think that it's very similar to the others, but you have more of a rounded tip, so you can definitely use this more on the eyes and the lips. I'll use it on the lips. It feels good, looks nice, and then I'm gonna use it almost as like a contour because of the shade. I really like this shade, this type of brown pink shade. There's a lot of the brown shades in the Haus Labs, and that is not available in the Dior or the Charlotte Tilbury. Like I said, it blends in super easy, very similar to the other products. Easiest way to see the color though is on my arm. So I would say, to sum up, if you want a glow, you want it to be hydrating, and you want it to blend super easy, go with the Charlotte Tilburys. If you want something that's dewy, like really dewy, and you like more of the pearlescent, go with the Dior's. And then if you want something that's multitasking, has a lot more shades, it's not sticky at all, I would go with the Haus Labs. If you don't want any perfume, go with the Haus Labs or the Charlotte Tilbury. So, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. I think they're all good. I think it's really a fine line between the differences here. I think, like I said, the Dior is the dewiest. The Charlotte Tilbury look beautiful and have this really gorgeous glow. And I think the Haus Labs has the most versatility. If you're wondering, by the way, what foundation I'm wearing, I am wearing the Ciel Tint and Protect. This is an amazing product. You put this in your cart. Bronzer. So when I did the best bronzers for fair skin, light skin video, someone, and I'm sorry, I forgot who it was, mentioned the Hourglass product. I don't talk about Hourglass that often. I like Hourglass. I've always liked Hourglass, but I don't love multi-use pans. I am one of those people who gets annoyed when shades are too close to one another. It's me. So it has nothing to do with the product, it's me. However, I really do like their powders. I find that a lot of times when I use Hourglass other products like mascaras or liners or lips, I don't love them. They're not bad, but I'm always just like, they're okay. But the powders have always been excellent. There's a reason they're iconic. There's a reason everyone buys the palettes. Even I have them. I mean, and I don't like multi-use, like I don't like that kind of layout, but I buy them too. Someone said though, have you tried the ambient lighting powder, the bronzer? And I said, no, I actually don't have that because I don't have any of the individual just core products from Hourglass. I always get like the unlocked palette or whatever it is, but I don't have just the core product. And she's like, you know, you really should try this particular shade because it's actually very cool toned and it's really nice. And it's called the Diffused Bronze Light. This is what it looks like. And you were absolutely correct. So first of all, I have it on my eyelids right now. Second of all, it's stunning. I love the fact that it's by itself because that makes it, you know, to me, like, because I use a big bronzing brush. And so like for me, that's what I want. And the color is perfect. It's amazing. It's a great color for fair skin. I think you could build it up a little, but it's not particularly pigmented, which is the purpose. Like, I mean, that's the point. And it's gorgeous. The formula is beautiful. It like blurs. It's a great bronzer for those of you who are looking for something that is cool toned, but not too cool toned. It's light. The formula is gorgeous. It looks glowy. It has this diffused look on the face. I am beyond impressed with it. You were absolutely correct. So if you watch that bronzer video, I will tell you that the Diffused Bronze Light is now up there with the Gucci and the Tom Ford and the Queen Musia. This is excellent. It's worth the money. It's an excellent product. It's part of the core group of products from Hourglass, so it's not a limited edition as far as I understand. That's what my research told me. Tell me if I'm wrong. So put it in your cart for the Sephora sale, guys, or if Hourglass has a sale, or you're just looking for a really excellent bronzer that is gonna give you a beautifully bronzed, like I just wanna pull my hair back so you can see a beautifully bronzed but diffused look. I mean, it looks amazing. And you know I'm not like effusive. I'm not the kind of person who's like, it's the best one ever. This is excellent. This is an excellent bronzer for somebody who has, you know, pale or fair skin, and I would not have reached for this. And the reason is the way it appears in the pan, it looks like cream. It looks like a yellow cream and bronze, and it's because of the combination. It is diffused. It does look, it makes your skin look, you look young. I look younger. It's a great shade. I love the formula. I might even like it more than the Tom Ford. That's how much I like it. I don't know if I like it more than Queen Musa, and I'll tell you why. The Queen Musa has a, I can't explain it, but it has a feel in the skin. The skincare that's in it is for me, phenomenal. Again, I have dry skin, I have sensitive skin, all that. But the Hourglass and the way that it looks. So to wrap up this video, the Charlotte Tilbury blushes are excellent. They're really good. But the highlight of my trip to the Sephora was the Hourglass. What I would say, what does that teach me? It basically says, don't get too focused on one particular thing. Don't get so narrowly focused on something where you miss the other things that might be like the perfect thing for you. It's a global lesson that, you know, I need to remember. And then I want to talk about the perfume that I'm wearing. So this is called London Fog, and it's by Brandt. It literally was created to, which I find interesting, to create and evoke a cozy and calming experience, which it does. It has Earl Grey tea, bergamot, and a hint of smoke at top. Then in the middle, it has lavender, milk, and honey. And in the base notes, it's vanilla absolute, sandalwood, ambergris, and white musk. I am so in love with this fragrance. So here's the thing. I went to the site. It's completely sold out. It's $230 and it's gone. Like it's sold out. I was just like, oh, okay. Cause I was just gonna buy it. It was that good. So I'm like, okay. Then I was like, oh, maybe they have the 10 milliliter, the spray. Nope, that's sold out too. So I need to find this fragrance and buy it because I love this. Now it is gonna be, I think for me, probably more fall, winter, but guys, it's so calming. It reminds me of London. It reminds me of my candle back here. Like it is awesome. Talking about tea, like if you like those types of fragrances, this one is the best. And my sister is actually in London right now, and she's, you know, going for tea and other amazing, you know, British stuff that I would love to have right now. But anyway, so I was envious, but I love that fragrance. So if you can find it where you are, London Fog by Brandt, it is excellent. I'm going to see if maybe Lucky Scent has it or something, but oh, it's so good. You can get the 10 milliliter size. I'm not saying it's cheap because it's not. The 10 milliliters, $40. The 100 milliliters, $230. But if you like the scent the scent profile I laid out, it's so good. I love it. I think that's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.